The phrase Europeans don't have children is almost too broad a brushstroke to bear. It's not true. You can argue about demographics, I'm sure Mark Stein will, but it is not true that they're not having children. It is not true that European politicians are so subsumed by multiculturalism that they don't ever speak up in defense of American foreign policy, or at least that would come as a surprise to Mr. Blair, to Mr. Brown, to Mr. Cameron, in fact to every prospective British Prime Minister currently sitting in the House of Commons. It would also come as a surprise to Mr. Aznar's party in Spain and Fayez, where I was a few days ago. It would come as a surprise to the governments of France, Germany and many other countries. I'd also point out, incidentally, if I can say so, that Europe, this accusation that Europe isn't waking up or that it's had all these attacks and hasn't woken up, can we please bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, how long it took America to wake up before 9/11, and how many attacks were needed before this country woke up. And I'd also add how many years of funding terror and terrorist funding went on in this country to blow up my fellow countrymen for 3 decades under the guise of the IRA. It took until 9/11 for the American government to stop shaking the hands of every terrorist murderer who came over on behalf of the Irish Republicans. So can we please bear that one in mind too? Anyhow, Europe, now having been partly dealt with what it's not, can we talk a little bit about democracy and what the democratic society is? I agree with my predecessor here that the rule of law here is central, and equality before the rule of law, and indeed equality generally. In Britain at the moment we have a very worrying development with the introduction recently of a parallel system of banking, of Sharia banking, which the Financial Times recently wrote an extraordinarily dry and supine supplement all about. The attempts to influence the British government into introducing Sharia law is another one. Now, I don't think that this should be hard to counter, because the thing you do to counter it is quite attractive to most people, which is to say that equality is not something you're going to give up, and it's not something you're going to not share around a bit. And equality means that if I go into a bank, I get the same loan as a Muslim does when they go into a bank, and the same kind of mortgage. And that if I go before the courts of Great Britain, I will be treated in exactly the same way as a girl who's an immigrant who's been in the country for a year, who might have a different set of beliefs from me, but lives in the same country under the same law. And I think that's an attractive proposition, and something which a democratic state will always have on its side. That said, as we know from, among other things I'd put as the main text on this, one Machiavelli's Discourses on Livy, we know the inherent problems that the democratic state has, the ways in which it can be manipulated and used, and I'd submit that it's being manipulated and used at the moment. The way to counter that, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, is that we know what our weaknesses are. That we know, for instance, that the democratic process is not open to those people who are only taking part in it to end it. We should be aware of the ways in which our openness is used against us, the way in which our open media is used to destroy the open media, the way in which it is used to subvert democratic governments, not to assist them or aid them. The issue of multiculturalism, then, is that, as has just been said, multiculturalism is not about equality. It is about treating people absolutely differently. It's saying if you have a tribal norm in your area, we will make you obey that, or allow you to continue obeying that. Well, we know where that leads. It led, among other things, to the stoning of Goffrin Hadouи in Marseille in 2004 for breaking no law of the French state, but just refusing the advances of a young Muslim man in her area. That's where we end up. But, if I can just add some texture to that, we should also bear in mind why the multiculturalism thing started, and appreciate the good idea, or the good sentiment at the root of it. And I mean that. The multicultural sentiment, which is why it's hard sometimes to break it down, is a noble one. And after all, one which Europeans should perhaps bear in mind. We have bad experience of asserting ourselves over each other. Germans have particularly bad experience of that. And there is reason for Germans to feel coy about asserting their national identity today. So knowing how it came about, it's easier to bring it to an end, and to bring about not multiculturalism, but what I call pluralism, which is what I hope can be agreed on as being a good thing. We need then to know how to prop up our democracy and to prop up our civil society and to stop the multicultural creep. We don't need to go into it here because I think we're all largely of one mind about the iniquity of that creep. But I would stress one final thing, if I may, which is the place in which religion holds in the multicultural society. We just had in a session previous to this one, and in a number of other events this morning, discussion of Europeans and others losing faith in religion and so on. It hasn't escaped my notice that this conference is happening on a Sunday, and there don't seem to be that many people in church from this conference, and it seems to me a slight paradox that also that we have so many people here and on many other occasions in America that I've come across who say effectively that religion is a good thing, or Christianity is a good thing, or we should have a revival of Christianity or of belief in Europe, but that they don't believe it themselves. What is the point of telling somebody else to believe something you do not yourself believe to be true, or which isn't true? What is the point? Is it a new version of Voltaire, that it's something for the servants, not for you, but that the people in Europe should try it out? I think this is immensely patronizing to people of Europe. You cannot spread truths which are not true or which you don't believe in. It's half-hearted, it's a falsehood, and let's throw it out, throw it away. Thank you.
I've learned that the more I talk, the more trouble I get in. So I'm just going to pass it over to Mark Steyn and take it from here, if you will.
Okay. I'd like to address the point that Sir Winston made on my left, that about not general.